Andrew Tate is so different as compared to the rest, and also that is his attraction, especially for young men. Why? Because they get to be taught that you need to be feminine, you need to be weak, you need to be all those other things that are not natural to men. So an unnatural situation, and women oftentimes treat men as trash. I'm not saying all women, but in many cases, women, especially in westernized countries, come up on top. For example, in a divorce, woman comes on top. Even if the man has worked for all those wealth, women oftentimes get half of what he had and are obliged to pay alimony for an enormous long time in most Western countries. So, and the other thing is, women want all the rights of men, but not the downfalls. So there's a power change, and a lot of time women are not, especially these feministic type of women are not known to the fact that the rights that they got from men who voted for them, Republican men, for example, in the United States, for their rights. So they are opposed to especially white men, and they encourage also other minorities, so to say, to come into their atmosphere. But that's the funny thing. If you look at the left wing and you compare it with feminists, they often see that they want more immigrants to come in. That could be a good thing, especially if you're hiding from war, like what's happening in Ukraine, then you are fleeing a war zone. But also a lot of immigrants come here because they want the additional wealth. And why wouldn't they? Yeah? But those immigrants have different, especially Muslim immigrants, have a different mindset. Christianity in the past, the Crusaders, etc., they were quite a force to be reckoned with. And they were also on top of Muslim nations. But nowadays, Christianity is just for namesake, it appears, and they have become very weak. But I'll come back to later as well, because Andrew and Tristan are more of a Christianity background, but Andrew has now converted to become a Muslim. Now why is that? Because he sees that only one of the big faiths on earth that is expanding is the Muslim faith, because they still go for dominance. They still apply and abide to the rules that are made. Whereas in Christianity, there were some rules, and also it was there to become a strong man. It's now a lot lost. So everything can be accepted, which is not, of course, also what the Bible teaches. The Bible also tries to be pure and pure above everything, instead of all the other things that are now brought into and are part of that. So that led, especially because Andrew Tate was so masculine, so to say, he got a lot of following, but a lot of women who were gaining on men also feel threatened, because Andrew Tate exposes the games that women are playing, and also flips the table again and says how men can play women. And that's also what he did. He did successfully, so he's not only saying it, he has done this in the past successfully as well, together with his brother. So it's like the game, as they call it. So you have a lot of people online who teach young men how to be successful in the dating game, and especially to be a type of player and get those women. So the women are no longer seeking in their young days to settle down oftentimes, but they are seeking to have as much pleasure as possible and have a high body count, and then once things go down, because the beauty is going down more rapidly, for the attractiveness, the sexual attractiveness going down more rapidly for women than for male. It's also a lot higher in the younger age for women. So for example, when they are mid-20, beginning 20, they are peaking, while men are still building up, and their maximum sexual market value can be there in the 30s, for example, mid-30s. Just an example. And then they want to settle once they hit 30s, for example, with a man that has a lot of benefit for them, so that they get security. Could be money, could be status, could be all the other things, power, etc. But also that they can settle down for children. But a lot of men are being destroyed in the process, because now you see that in the current state there are some high exposure men that get, for example, 99 women chasing them from the 100, and only one woman settles for the other one, while the other 99 men just giving it a little bit of stigmatization, are left alone. And those men, of course, want to be as successful as the 1% men, in my example, that gets all the women chasing them. So nowadays you have women who are willing to share their men, oftentimes easier, as long as it's a high status type of guy, than to settle with a normal type of guy who would be exclusive to them. And some women are now debating this, because they say, yeah, he made us believe that I was the only one that we would get married, and therefore I did all those things. For example, in the industries that Andrew Tate grew in, and also began his serious wealth gaining in. So, for example, an OnlyFans type of approach. And they say that it's close to being a lover boy. So a lover boy, this is oftentimes what you see on in schools. There are some guys that try to predate on very young girls. That's different than what Andrew Tate did, in my opinion, because he used women who were of adult age in his companies, etc. But never mind. They say to those girls, I'm your boyfriend, and after a while they once the girl falls in love with them, they try to get them to do whatever they want, and it's oftentimes are exploiting them, oftentimes in the sex industry. So that's quite a serious claim, and that's what now is also held against Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. And I think there are a lot of men who are more seriously exploiting women, for example pimps, that are not facing this type of claims. And why is that? Because Andrew Tate is a high exposure type of guy, and with him Tristan Tate as well, and they gained a lot of wealth, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that they have the high exposure, so they are influencing. There are big influences, if not the biggest influences for male persons at the time, and now they have been seized, taken to jail. They have been in the past as well, and then that was unsuccessful, but now they are again seized, and they can be convicted or they can be released again.